My husband has a work wife. They are friends who go out to lunch often and tease each other and talk about some personal things. She brings him homemade lunches sometimes and he's brought her leftover desserts, that I made. It didn't bother me at first, but it feels like she has a connection to him that I don't. To make matters worse, she work proposed to him to make their work relationship work official. She playfully feels like he's not a real work husband if they don't have an actual work wedding. He thinks it's hilarious, and their manager said it's a fine excuse to throw a party out of their pizza party funds. They throw celebratory parties somewhat often when they ship a product or land a big client. The parties are usually a few grand in food and drinks and entertainment. His company is a dream come true, but I think him and his friend are taking this too far. He was planning on wearing his normal work clothes to the wedding, but there's rumors she's going to wear her wedding dress from her failed marriage. She's been divorced for 5 years. What should I do? I told him this is ridiculous, but he keeps talking me down. I'm considering showing up to respectfully voice my concerns during the, if anyone has objections, part of the ceremony. His co-workers know me from the last Christmas party and the time I had to bring him a clean pair of pants, so I know they'd let me into the party. It's in the middle of the day, so I'd need to take time off work, but if I can stop their marriage, maybe I can save mine. As a man who was uncomfortable with people calling them much younger, co-worker my work wife, and put a stop to it by speaking up, your husband is a huge asshole and needs to stop in this. I'm good friends with my guy friend at work. I'm also considerate of his wife. This is way too far. And the term work wife is insulting to the wife. Tell him his office is going to celebrate his real divorce if he doesn't cool it right now. NTA. Give your husband this scenario. I show up and object as he's already married, kids in tow if you have them, and turn it all into a fiasco. Maybe bring your mill. She could object about how he's cheating on his wife. The more fuss, the more ludicrous, should make everyone embarrassed to be a part of it. Then look your hubby dead in the eye and state you have one wife, and to marry her it means divorce, child support, splitting assets and everything else. Additionally, you would look at everyone else and state the disrespectful mocking of marriage is very unprofessional and should have no place in the workforce. Take pictures and point out you are forwarding them to corporate and divorcing for an affair that their company vacillated, promoted and celebrated. You would have no problem blasting them online and in every possible way using media. Any competitors want to put a spin on their corporate culture? Tell him about emotional affairs and that he is entering the beginning of going past that to a physical one. Stop it now. No more shared food, nothing other than required work interactions. Then get counseling. If his reaction to this is to double down on doing it, you know where you and your marriage are on his priority list. This is the weirdest thing I've read in a while. This is not normal or acceptable. People joke about work spouses when it comes to people who work really well together and complement each other in the professional field. That's whatever. But honestly, bringing each other lunch/dessert, going out to lunch, etc. is crossing the line. It could be that your husband is taking it lightly, but it seems like SHE is seriously obsessed with him. The fact that he is disregarding your feelings about it makes it that much worse. Hand him divorce papers so he's available to get married again in the first place. The fact that your husband isn't listening to how you feel about this is very concerning. This sounds like the skit where the guy has a work wife and work kid and went on a work honeymoon. Okay, I was like, that's actually kind of funny and fun, assuming it's a total joke masquerading as a pizza party, until I read about the wedding dress that's unhinged. Like single white female level creepy. Also, the fact that you don't like it should have been enough for him. I don't think you should take off work and attend the ceremony, because that's a lot of conflict that shouldn't be on you to begin with. But you have every right to be mad, silly as the wedding idea is, he's still not considering your feelings and that's not okay at all. Show up at the wedding and beat the shit out of her to assert dominance, then make hubby repeat his vows in front of everyone. Problem solved. My ex had a work wife. I was okay with it, she came to my house, I went to hers. I cuddled her children, they ended up having an affair. Stop it now that you can. What in the fuck? Sorry you're dealing with this. I think you have every right to tell him this has gone too far and you are uncomfortable. Say this, I know this might be a silly joke to you, but it is crossing a boundary for me. This isn't a matter of me not getting a joke, it's me being uncomfortable with a relationship you have with another, single, woman. It's both of our responsibilities to prioritize our relationship over other relationships, even friendships, and this is one of those moments where you need to step up to the plate and be on my side. My wife and I both work in finance/banking, and sneer at the use of work wife/work husband. It's a place where you come to work, collect a paycheck, and go home. A place of work is not a place where you need to be bringing feelings up, joking about work spouses, and doing work marriages. This is the office version of gender reveal parties. It's stupid. I have had several work wives, of both genders, over the years that my real wife and I have joked about at home and in the company of the person. What you are describing is just plain weird. I suspect your husband is a really nice guy and this has been a frog-boiling episode for him, but if she shows up in a wedding dress, that's got stage 5 clinger written all over it. You should play along, and when their vows are said and they ask if anyone should disagree, stand up and give a long and embarrassing speech why the bride should not take his hand, so she is not miserable in her life as you are.